Dear friends in Dhamma, we are going to start the second question and answer session. So we'll start with the written questions.
Avasara Bhante, we have received 4 reports today.
Right.
Report number 1, most respected Thero. After a walking meditation, I did a sitting meditation session for about 30 minutes. Only few breaths identified, and that too was not continuously recognized. After that, I gave my attention to the body. Sometimes I felt I am in the upper place and not touching with the earth. And sometimes I felt very relaxed and I was able to stay with it. In between, sometimes I felt there was a silent place in the mind too. Please advise. Theruvan Saranai.
So it can happen in many different ways. One thing is that currently it seems like you are going through some calmness, tranquility, so the mind is getting composed. So as a result of that, the typical hindrances are subsided, so the mind becomes more tranquil, and then the all typical pains, aches disappear and you feel quite comfortable. So this is some initial stages, we can say the sort of precursors of getting samadhi. So your mind is now getting ready to become concentrated. So before you get concentrated, you feel quite comfortable, little happy, and the body feel very relaxed, very light, and you feel like floating. All these things can happen. So later the mind get concentrated, so it will remain without getting any distraction. It will be as it is. So wherever you want, you can keep your attention, and then it will stay there as it is. So the other thing is, now once you have certain amount of concentration, you need to start investigating phenomena, what we call the developing of Vipassana. So that is a must. So what you are experiencing currently is gaining certain amount of samadhi, gaining certain amount of concentration. That is good, that is necessary. And once you are confident, okay, now I can stay here for a fair amount of time, now you do the investigation of various phenomena. May I know who has written it? Is yours? Oh, I see. So then actually you are in a different area. Fine. So actually now the other area, another situation which can happen is that once we have gone through a fair amount of investigation, say you did investigation to various elements, characteristics, various bodily phenomena, maybe various sensations, various feelings, and or maybe various mental constructs. All that when you are observing, then you are gaining certain amount of insight, gaining certain amount of wisdom. So that wisdom slowly abandons all the grasping, and then mind become quite relaxed, detached, not holding on to anything. So it can now happen quickly. At the beginning, it takes a lot of time. So you need, even if you try, it won't happen. So you are still observing, you still investigating phenomena, but this result won't happen. But later, as you are developing, as you are practicing, so this particular result, where the abandoning happens, letting go of phenomena happens, non-attachment happens, so the mind becomes completely released. So temporarily, so that temporary release can happen. So it seems like you are now, without getting to much Vipassana investigations, now mind has certain amount of registered that relaxed state of mind. Now it can jump to that. Am I correct? What are you? Can you explain a little bit about your experience? Press the button. Yeah. After your walking meditation? Right. This state. Yeah. So can you keep the mind completely empty? At that level, so once you reach this state, where? Coming back to what? Uh-huh. You cannot recognize properly where mind stays. Am I correct? Uh-huh. Relaxation mode. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So what's the difference between relaxation mode and the silent place? Ah. So isn't it both coupled together? Sorry, you can't? You can separately identify. Uh-huh. So you better then, let go of the body. So don't come, if you have any doubt, if you have sort of uncertainty, then you can return back to the body. Otherwise, you can maintain the mind without even using the body. Now you can let go of the body and let the mind be like floating, without anything. It doesn't have a particular object, but rather it has the awareness. That awareness is not established at anywhere. So that is much better. That is much advanced than being with the body. So actually at the beginning what we do is, as much as possible, we are trying to be with the body. True. In Kaya Anupassana, in Kaya Gata Sati, that is what we are trying to do, because otherwise mind get distracted. So again and again we are keeping our attention on certain bodily phenomena. While walking, we are bringing our attention to the walking. While sitting, maybe we are bringing our attention to rising and falling. Maybe in-breath and out-breath. All are bodily phenomena. So as much as possible we are trying to associate the body. True. But that is to develop mindfulness, to establish mindfulness. And next stage is, after developing mindfulness, okay, as a result of that, because of the continuity, you develop fair amount of concentration. And then, using that concentration and mindfulness and kind of balanced state of effort, okay, you do the investigation. So as a result of investigation, now we are coming to another level, where mind lets go of all phenomena and temporarily release. Doesn't have even an object. So once we arrive that, so try to be there. Again, returning back to the body, even though body has relaxed, calm and stay as it is, but still you are trying to associate something. Still you are giving another object. Even though the body has become tranquil, still it's another object to the mind. So how about just keeping the mind completely free from any object? This is challenging actually. It's actually challenging because mind requests you to be with something. Always want to attach with something, hooked up with something. So that is the typical, life of the mind. We are always, whenever it is there, the presence of mind, it has something to couple with, something to be with, something to associate. But the Satipatthana practice takes us to unassociation, non-dependency, anissita anupadana, and non-clinging, non-grasping. So that non-grasping state of mind is something that we have to develop further and further. Are you following? Okay.
Report number 2. Venerable Bhante, before starting Anapana meditation, I practice Metta meditation for about 10 minutes, spreading Metta to myself, for all beings at the premises where I am at that moment, then to the village, etc., etc. I've been practicing this for about 10 years. I spend more time on Satipatthana meditation. However, I feel that the life has become very easy for me after the Metta practice. Wherever I go, people help me to accomplish my tasks. Even if I go to a shop, they help me to find the stuff and then carry it up to the vehicle. I don't know why and how I am developing an idea, within bracket ditti, that this friendly and helpful behavior by others is due to me practicing Metta meditation. Can it be correct, or is it just fabrication stroke ditti I am developing in my mind? Theruvan Saranai.
Any all possibilities are possible, yes, as you said. It can be really true. That's an outcome of metta meditation. As you all know, metta is really a wonderful type of meditation where we are able to spread metta. Others also might feel it. And when you are developing it for a long period of time, so your appearance, your presence become more pleasant. So others may love to be with you, like to be with you, and like to help you. Obvious. On the other hand, but you have written another statement telling, okay, I am practicing Vipassana or rather Satipatthana. So when you are practicing Satipatthana, again going back to metta for long development, like, okay, may him be well, may my neighbors be happy, or may my brother be happy, my sister be happy, my parents be happy. But on the other hand, you are practicing Satipatthana. Is there any contradiction? No contradiction, or is it all right? There is a contradiction. In Satipatthana practice, we are going more and more towards the wisdom part, where we understand, okay, these are sort of conditioned phenomena. And more your Vipassana is growing, so you understand even all the bodily phenomena are merely conditions. Say feelings are conditions, perceptions, formations, say consciousness. So that is what we have as 5 aggregates, and what is outside also 5 aggregates. So when we are developing these kinds of insight, again going back, switching yourself back to the notion that, okay, may my brother be happy, may my sister be happy, may my teacher be happy, may my father be happy. Now we are going the opposite. So therefore, as we develop Satipatthana, there is a point that you reach, okay, metta is another state of mind. Vita dosan chittanti pajanati. You are not developing that. Vita ragan chittanti pajanati. You are not developing that. It's a mere state of mind. Saragan chittanti pajanati. That's also you understand. Okay, lustful thought is a lustful thought. Sadosan chittanti pajanati. Angry thought is a angry thought. It's a mere angry thought. It's a conditioned phenomena. You are looking at everything objectively as mere phenomena, as conditioned phenomena. So therefore, as you are more and more maturing in Satipatthana, Vipassana, so you may find, okay, now metta is not that necessary. You can spend little time, doesn't harm, but even that you may drop, because you start becoming more and more mature. You start, okay, let me handle everything. Okay, things are happening. There are various other causes influencing the situation. And you are ready to face it. Kind of a radical acceptance is there. So therefore, see where are you now. So are you, for 10 years, are you practicing Satipatthana, or for 10 years are you practicing metta? So we give more, marks for Satipatthana. So because this is an area that you need to explore, this is where you are maturing. Because otherwise, it's true that metta meditation has certain results, but don't use it in a way that you are still kind of constrained into the conditioned world, into the conditioned reality, conventional reality. So you have the person, I am here, may I be happy, may I be well, may I be free from suffering, may you be happy. Still you are developing that the personality view in a way, Sakkaya Ditthi, at one level. That's why in the Sammaditthi there are 2 categories. Probably you have heard about it. Sammaditthi, Sasava, Punya Bhagya, Upadi Vepakka. That's the mundane side. So you are established on Kamma, you recognize Kamma, you believe it, you accept it, and you are being a good person, trying to be a good person, you avoid all the unwholesome activities and you try to do the wholesome activities, but still you are a person. So therefore it is with influxes, sasava. Now when we are discussing the other side, the supramundane side, that is where Sammaditthi, Anasava, Lokuttara, Magganga. So you are recognizing, okay, now I am developing certain amount of wisdom and I am trying to minimize the asavas, I am trying to minimize influxes, trying to minimize all different defilements, and it is kind of a supramundane, and you are being noble. You are not with the mundane things. Actually, you can be with the mundane things, but at least during your meditation session, you are trying to uplift yourself away from the mundane things, and you see the reality of the mundane things, how impermanent they are, how unsatisfactory they are, how non-self, non-governable they are, and you are trying to withdraw from that. So you need to develop that more and more. You have to give more emphasis to that. So therefore, recognize these two paths. So first one is actually samatha, say in the metta meditation. Here, satipatthana meditation, we are into vipassana.
Report number 3. Dear Bhante, Theruvan Saranai. First question, how to practice Iriyapatha Bhavana in day-to-day life?
So you practice. So now we are sitting, so you know you are sitting. While walking, I know, okay, I am walking. And while lying down, you know, I am lying down. And while standing, you know, I am standing. So at first step, it's very, very simple. Keep it very straightforward. So don't put too much theories into it, say more complicated theories into it. Just be aware. So you be with yourself. Develop that, what we call the proprioceptive awareness. So we recognize, okay, this body right now is stated like this. Head is like this, shoulders are like this, hands like this, upper half of the body like this. So you are recognizing in the space how it is oriented, how the body is placed. You be with it again and again. So this sitting posture. But it is very boring. So again mind get distracted. So again you need to pull it back to the body. Again mind get distracted. Again you need to pull it back to the body. So while walking also very similar. So allow the body to simply walk, and you, like an outsider, you watch all the movements, all the, you know, the posture, the walking posture. While lying down also same, standing also same. And so you recognize what is this posture look like and how this posture feels like and all that, knowing. But more and more you are being with the body, later you may recognize even subtle processes operating inside the body. So the Iriyapatha Bhavana does not stop at that level. So you tend to recognize some subtle processes, dynamic processes going through in the body. So then you recognize, okay, this rising and falling happens, breathing happens, maybe blood circulation happen, and aches happen, pains happen. So all that different activities are there inside the body. So you are now more and more aware of them. Now you recognize one of them, say rising and falling, for example. You keep your attention continuously there, and you are closely investigating that rising and falling process. So it becomes your mula kamathan, it becomes your primary object. And now you are further developing that, and then you can land on to, say, dhatu manasikara, elements meditation. So if we are recognizing anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing, then you can do that. You may end up with mindfulness of breathing, anapanasati. It may take you to another level. So likewise, so developing, postures, recognizing it, being with it, being aware of it, is the beginning, we can say. Yeah.
Second question in that, is it okay to consider whenever I see someone or about myself, attang anatta gunan udariyan karisan, to practice anatma? Please explain how can we solve problems using anatma, non-self nature.
No. I mean, you are completely mixed up. Antang antagunang udariyan karisang. So they are body parts. Antang means, the intestines. So here we are called anatta. Anatta is non-self. The opposite of anatta is atta. Atta is the self. Atta is the soul. Antang means, the antang antagunang udariyang karisang. So antang means the intestines. Antagunang is the large intestine. Udariyang, the non-digested food, karisang, you know, what? Karisang? What you defecate. So that's the karisang. So in order for you to understand anatta, that means a non-self, actually best thing is to pay enough attention to various phenomena and to start understanding the impermanence first. So when you understand impermanence, it will take you to anatta. Yada nicchan tan dukkhang, yada dukkhang tada natta. So when you understand, okay, things are impermanent, quite transient, things are inherently, changing, then you understand, okay, how can there be a soul in this inherently changing process? So therefore, anatta is much deeper. So certainly you can understand to some extent that when you are going through the bodily parts, head hair, body hair, like that, when you are contemplating on body parts, certain amount of understanding coming, telling you, okay, it is not someone, it is a collection of various body parts. To some extent true, we can admit, but that is not enough. You need to go further, you need to go deeper, seeing the impermanent nature of phenomena. That will give you another insight, more deeper insight, that things are quite transient. Not only bodily phenomena, even the feelings, even the perceptions, even the thoughts, intentions, all your sense experience, all are fleeting. So how can there be a self, eternal self, unchanging self in these fleeting processes? So there you are getting a much deeper understanding of anatta.
Report number 4. During Q&A yesterday, you mentioned about doing metta meditation to a person by imagining that person is in front of you. Can you please explain how the metta can be transferred to that person, thereby for he or she to feel good? Is there a scientific explanation? The reason for the question is that I have a relation who goes through the final stage of cancer and given only another 3 months to live. He complains that he is having severe body aches. If we all spread metta to him, will he feel better, at least not suffer till the death?
What do you think? So metta has certain amount of impact, and they also have found it, I think some scientific evidence is also there. But we need to face the reality. Death is a reality. So we can't avoid it just by mere metta. We need to admit it. It's a hard, bitter truth we need to admit. So therefore, you can do metta, fine, no harm, but people have to die. So we can't stop the death by mere metta. Rather, we can accept, okay, now the person is dying and he's ending his life. Now, the other person, that particular person also have to accept it as a reality. Okay, I am dying. This body is dying. Rather than telling, I am dying, okay, this body is dying. Let me accept it. Let me be mindful about the death process, the dying body. Very radical, very difficult in a way. So, practicing like that at the end, without having a pre-development or without having much previous experience, is very difficult. But on the other hand, you recognizing whatever the bodily pains by mere pain, rather than attributing a person to it. So that is where we are able to decouple the process. So what happens usually is when there are pains, so the question coming, why am I suffering so much? I am so and so, I have done all these good things, I have done dana, I have given dana, I have offered flowers, I have observed sila, why this suffering coming to me? So that is the way of looking at it, and that's the wrong way of looking at it. So we couldn't see pain as pain, we have inserted a self into the pain. And there is a person who is going through the suffering. I am suffering. Then the suffering become doubled, tripled. The Salla Sutta. So the bodily pain is like a one dart, And now you are adding the mental pain, it's the second dart. So can you decouple it? Can you keep body pain as mere body pain? So there's a very beautiful sutta called Anathapindika. Sorry, not Anathapindika. What's that? Nakulapita. Nakulapita is, a famous couple helped the Buddha, and they were very much like relations of the Buddha. They really loved the Buddha. And closer to the death, Nakulapita arrived the Buddha to the monastery, and he is saying, you can read Nakulapita Sutta, available I think in the Kanda Sangyutta. So there Nakulapita is telling, so Nakulapita means the father of the Nakula. And he is telling Bhante, now I can't often come to the monastery. Now I am aged. My body is like a, almost like rotten chariot. Every day I have to go through various, remedies, various medicines and everything. So I am very difficult. I now can't come and see the Sangha. Now I can't come and see the Buddha. So I am now aged. My body is dying now. And what Buddha said as an advice to him, and he said, yes, that's very true. This body is aging. This body is going through kind of decaying. It's now getting closer to the death. Now, can you keep your mind without going through any pain? Even though your body is painful, can you keep the mind free from pain? Even though your body is going through some aches, can you maintain your mind free from aches, sorrows, lamentations? And then he admitted the advice, but he didn't ask, Bhante, how am I going to do it? So on the way back, he met Venerable Sariputta. And he told the whole story to Venerable Sariputta. And Venerable Sariputta is asking from him, from Nakulapita, why didn't you ask the question, how is the way to do that? So then he is telling, yes, Bhante, I couldn't ask it. Can you explain it? Now, the typical thing is, whenever the pain is happening, as I previously also mentioned, we make pain as myself. Pain is me. So, I am suffering. So, that is the pure Sakkaya Ditthi. On top of pain, we are attributing a self. We are attributing a person. I am suffering. I am dying. I am having cancer. This cancer is killing me. Why it is me? Why it has selected me? Why the next door woman? Why poor me? So you are adding a person to the picture. So that is the real issue. That's the culprit. So the typical mundane way of looking at it is the pure Sakkaya Ditthi. You are putting a person into the picture. To the pain you are attributing a person. So can you recognize pain as mere pain? It's kind of a decoupling. So you keep your attention, or rather your mind different, and the pain as something different. So these are two phenomena. You can know the pain, but you don't need to sort of grasp the pain. You don't need to identify the pain. Telling that I am suffering, so it's a kind of you are accepting it, knowing it. So this is why now there is a famous scientist, psychiatrist, doctor something, John Kabat-Zinn. So he is introducing mindfulness to stress reduction. So there are various bodily pains, there are issues. So rather than suffering by introducing a self into the picture, can you decouple the process and look at it objectively? Okay, there is a pain, there is a painful feeling, there is a worry, there is kind of a mental, even that. So you are slowly detaching yourself. So the detached observation is something that we have to develop. So from the beginning of the Satipatthana practice, this is the training that we are going through. Say when you are observing breathing, it is not that you are breathing and you are trying to be aware of my breathing. Rather, as much as possible, you are trying to allow the body to breathe naturally, and you, like an outsider, you are observing it. Don't disturb it. Don't introduce any changes. Rather, allow the body to breathe as it wants. That's it. So you be an outsider. Go away. Be out. So let the body breathe. So then the bodily breathing, it's a bodily phenomena. It's a bodily process. Natural process. Body has to breathe, to survive, to sustain. And you are simply watching it. So more and more we practice that. So then we understand a kind of an art. So how there is an experience, but I am not sort of carried away by the experience. I am not consumed by the experience. I am not participated even in the experience. I am just experiencing it as an outsider. You can even observe it. So this is something that we need to sort of train our mind, train ourselves. It may not happen immediately. And one can argue, even though Bhante, you are telling like this, I am the one suffering. No. You can tell like that. But I mean, so you need to select. So two options are there. Either way, the pain is there. So body pain is unavoidable. Assume that you have taken the treatment, doesn't matter, you have going through that, you have given the proper treatment. Still suffering is there, still pain is there. So what are you going to do? Are you going to add your mental pain also, or are you allowing to decouple and keep the body pain as mere body pain? So that's why we are preparing now. So don't wait till you get the terminal cancer, till you go to the deathbed. So now practice, and then we'll see what's going to happen.
Report number 5. Dear Bhante, according to that also has two parts, Bhante. Part number 1. According to Vedananupassana, we should not think this pain as my pain. Please explain. Example, thinking about future exam.
Future exam. Future exam also created pain. Great. Anxiety. Oh, am I going to prepare it? Will I going to answer it properly? Actually, same situation I was. And before the exam, sometimes, I have to go to the toilet. Even though I was ready, still, the gut feeling is not there. Stomach problem is there. So intense kind of, impact is there, even to the mind. Somehow pass the exam. So the minds are actually very sensitive. So it depends on the person actually. So if you are a character with a lot of sensitivity, then even these things are creating a lot of mental kind of a stress, definitely. But certain others don't have that. They are quite having certain amount of, say, resilience. But with the development of mindfulness, you are getting that resilience. So you are able to cope up with the situation. Even though the things are challenging, you are able to face it. So you are admitting it, okay, this is a challenging situation, let me face it. You are developing certain kind of a, say, bravity, kind of brave attitude, you are developing. So then you are ready, okay, let me go through it. That's why you are not now going through all the different kinds of, the typical blessings and all that. Rather, you are taking the handle to your hand. Now, say for example, before the exam, okay, you can go to a temple and you can do a Bodhi Puja, you can go to a, Kataragama, and you can make a bara. I don't know what's the English term for bara. And you can offer flowers and you can offer beautiful, fruit tray to the God Kataragama, and ask him to help you. And all that you can do, you are expecting someone else to help you. But as you are continuing your practice, you understand, okay, these are, this is not the way of doing it. Let me handle it by myself. Even I failed the exam. So you become stronger internally. You become stronger, more mature. That is necessary. So that's why, I mean, we have to be more mature people. I mean, we can't expect all these other things to happen and, come and bless me and, expecting all conditions to be favorable every time. So we are going through a vulnerable world. So things are uncertain. So we need to admit that. We need to experience that. So say, for example, you are practicing elements meditation. So while you are practicing elements meditation, you understand how vulnerable they are, how uncertain they are, how quickly they are arising and passing away, how quickly they are changing and how they are ungovernable. And you practice that while in the Kalalgoda. And then you go outside to pick the bus. You are waiting, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, no bus. So are you getting angry? So, is there any problem now? So you understood non-self while at Kalalgoda, but couldn't understand outside Kalalgoda. So we are not practical, isn't it? So we think, okay, I have thoroughly understood Kalalgoda, while non-self. I am an expert in non-self now. Not Antaguda, but Anatta. I understood Anatta, good. But after going out the monastery, say you are expecting the vehicle to come and pick you on time and it has to happen properly. My husband has to come on time without keeping me waiting outside. He should be punctual. So you are waiting. He didn't come. He met a friend on the way. So can you understand Anatta? Can we practically apply the insight Anatta there? Isn't it? So we have to be practical in a way. We need to understand this situation. So we are living in a world which is Anatta. So we have no much control. Things are happening. They are going through very vulnerable, uncertain situations. But we are trying to control them. We are trying to, put our desire onto it. We want them to happen in a certain way. Impossible. Because you understood Anatta. So these insights has to be practical. That's why, I myself get angry. True. That's because even though we, practice these things, still we are not applying these things enough to our day-to-day activities, day-to-day mundane activities, life situations. So we have to understand, okay, this is the way of the life, this is the way of the world. Then probably, even though, say, someone come late or they come and blame or all these different situations happen, still your mind is unwavering. You are ready to be with it. You are ready to maintain your sort of stilled mind. Like we discussed yesterday. Say, the bandits capture Venerable Adimutta, but he is no problem, no harm. He is like the Adimutta. Before capturing, after capturing, same. What happened to us? Oh, is that the last question? Yeah, some more.
The second part, how to do Vipassana in Anapanasati Bhavana.
Yeah, rather than say how to do Vipassana, say as you are practicing Anapanasati, so first you may understand, okay, now mind get concentrated. A fair amount of time, now mind does not get distracted, rather staying with the breathing. Now you are now closely examining the Anapanasati. You are trying to recognize the difference between in-breath and out-breath, whether it is longer, whether it is shorter, which one is warmer, which one is cooler, where it is touching, all that subtle phenomena, characteristics you are trying to investigate, so that investigation slowly evolves to Vipassana. Rather than you practicing Vipassana, manipulating, no. Let it naturally flow. That would be much easier, or rather more beautiful. Say, the Anapanasati itself will take you to the next stage. That is the Dhamma, open aika. So Anapanasati evolve to the next stage by itself, because you are doing the necessary you are preparing yourself or you are practicing properly, so it will evolve to the next stage. So if you are investigating like this, the body calms down, breathing calms down, it might even disappear, the whole thing disappear, you feel like floating, you feel like really blissful. So now you practice even the Vedananupassana using Anapanasati. Piti patisangvedi asasi samiti sikkati. Sukha patisangvedi asasi samiti sikkati. So all the blissful experience now you are looking at like an outsider. These things are also changing. These, whatever the rapturous situation, whatever the happyful situations, all are changing. So you are looking at these pleasurable feelings, comfortable feelings, pleasant feelings also are impermanent. So likewise it will evolve now. Feelings are now going through, you are recognizing them, you are not creating any self out of it, rather they are mere feelings, looking at them objectively. Then it will evolve to another level. Probably the various images can happen and you can recognize that also, you let go of that, then everything calms down, then you may be looking at your mind, mental phenomena. And then ultimately body also released, feelings also not attached with, perceptions also not attached with, mental formations also, thoughts also not attached with, then what happened to the mind? What happened? All of you are staying with me or sleeping? Yes. Yeah, come please.
Dear Bhante, I have two situations in my practice of breathing meditation. The first situation is that after starting the meditation, after some time, maybe couple of breathing cycles, I don't feel the gap between the breathing in and breathing out. And I feel only the starting point and the end point, not the declining point actually.
Right.
So is it my practice is, I mean, I don't want to microscopically sort of look into that, then in that case I'm sort of enforcing, controlling the breath like. So I don't, what is your advice, Bhante?
No problem. I'll let it grow like this as it is. Because you know that the breathing experience become more subtle.
Yeah.
And there you can't find out much detail now.
Yeah.
But you can only have some kind of a feeling.
Right.
Just a kind of a little sensation.
Yeah.
In that little sensation you can recognize, okay, there's a beginning, there's an end.
Yeah.
There's an appearance and then disappearance. That's all you have.
Yeah.
Even
Because
it is common to the in-breath, common to the out-breath, but there's just a beginning or the starting of some feeling, starting of a certain sensation, a subtle sensation, and it disappears. Again another sensation, it disappears. Again a subtle sensation, it disappears. And later probably you can understand, okay, how to distinguish in-breath and out-breath. You may ask the question then, maybe next month. So no problem. So you are losing the nimittas, you know, that signs, marks, all that you are slowly losing. And ultimately the whole breathing even like disappearing. And that is how it is evolving. No problem.
actually the next situation is that after some times that I don't feel, I mean, diminishing the sort of breathing like, and I know that is going on background, but physically I really don't sort of see that breathing in and out, or it is happening.
Right.
But my mind is stable,
right,
and no kind of a communication
right,
with outside. So
okay,
that is there, but after some times again coming back to, I mean, after a couple of minutes, coming back to the same situation, like, I mean, it's again breathing in, breathing out, I feel.
You feel?
Yeah.
So that means you are again back to the gross breath.
Yeah, because
Gross.
after some time.
After some time.
Yeah.
So I mean, you may change from soft to the gross kind of a sensation, but better let it evolve naturally, so that say rather than you doing any kind of a change, let the process naturally evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I do actually. I sort of stay neutral.
Correct. And then the thing is, so all the information you are experiencing at one stage start disappearing. reducing, and so the ability in your mind to pick various details become lesser and lesser. Now details become not available to you. Nimittas, the signs become less and less. So ultimately you may understand, okay, now I can't distinguish in-breath or out-breath. I have a mere sensation, a very refined sensation is there. It's also coming and going, appearing and disappearing. So you are simply looking at it, and later it also may disappear. So let it happen. Yeah, Thero. That's all, no? Here's a question.
I was about to ask you how to let go, practical way of how to let
Let
go.
go what? Pain. Anything.
We were talking about the postman, his mind going out. So is that continuously happening
In yourself.
So the practical way to let go, I was
So it is not the kind of forcefully we have to let go. Rather, we are our mind. If the mind is ready to let go, it will happen naturally. So the mind is not ready because still it doesn't have enough understanding. Now, say for example, the Buddha has given a beautiful example. Say a person is blind, and he being fooled, deceived by someone telling, okay, there's a beautiful cloth. So you are wearing a beautiful cloth, and he may be selling it, telling it's a beautiful, clean cloth. But actually it is not. But this blind person may wear it because he can't see. It is not a beautiful cloth, it is not a worthy cloth. Rather, it's a very cheap, ugly kind of a cloth he may be wearing because he don't know. If someone is asking, why don't you throw it? He can't. Because he thinks it is a beautiful one because that fellow has cheated him. He has told that, okay, this is the best cloth I am having, okay, this is the best shirt I am going to give you, okay, so that trader has cheated him, so this fellow understood, sort of accepted it, and then he is holding it, grasping it, so he can't give it up. But say one day his eyes are corrected and now he got the vision, now he can see what he is wearing. And he understands, okay, this is a really ugly cloth, I mean, it's not worth at all. No point of wearing like this. I mean, this is not even not suitable to wear something like this. So if that understanding is there, what happens? It will throw it away naturally. So therefore, Vipassana practice that we are not trying to forcefully let go. Rather, we are developing the insight. We are doing the proper investigation to various phenomena. So we are developing that understanding, what we call the Yathabhuta Jnana Darshana. So seeing their true nature of various phenomena, so that understanding itself will take us to the proper letting go. Yathabhuta Jnana Dasanam Nibbitathaya. So that when you have thorough understanding about the nature of the phenomena, the true nature of that, so it is natural for the mind to have a detachment, have a dispassion towards all different phenomena, so the letting go becomes more natural, effortless.
I was about to say that I thank you for the explanation you have given me about the pain, that it comes through practice, but what I mean is Satipatthana is the base, the thing. When you continuously observe that these things, these phenomena are natural, and if you don't get attached to it, maybe you can put let go into practice. That's what I felt. I actually, I had that question, but the explanation you have given earlier made me more clarified on what is the real meaning of the question I was to ask about letting go. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, if there are no more questions, we can wind up. some of you are sleeping. Bad time. You can have a walk then and wake up. Few more hours are there for you to sleep. And so we'll stop here and have a nice walk. Theruwan Sarnai.